I think the kind of abuse I felt was more of a neglect, like a parent that just isn't paying attention to its child, and the child's pleading for help, and it's like getting the silent treatment. You've done something wrong, but I'm not going to tell you what it is. You'll have to figure it out and suffer through it, and then maybe down the road you'll have this epiphany and discover what's been screwing you up, but I'm not going to tell you. And I don't care how many times you pray, how sincere it is. You'll have to figure it out on your own. So I always felt like my God was an absent father figure that just really wasn't giving me any feedback. I craved to hear, good job, well done, and it just...
It's like we're kind of like a child, really seeking affirmation from God, who you consider your father, mm-hmm. and you don't hear that back mm-hmm. in a tangible way, mm-hmm. And the fear of what does that mean? I've been told that I should have the Holy Spirit inside me, and that should be speaking to me and confirming these things. And so, I would certainly be able most of the time to convince myself that I was hearing that. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. But did I really? Mm-hmm. I don't know. I mean, of course, the built-in defense mechanism within the religion would say, well, then you weren't a true Christian. You must not have had the Holy Spirit. But I certainly felt that Spirit many times. And it's just not always. And it when you didn't, that feeling of neglect was painful. And
I walked away after 28 years of believing and hoping and waiting for God to make an appearance. And so for me, that wasn't as strong as an argument as it was in the beginning, when I was getting suspicious that I'm not getting any feedback here. How am I doing? But after 28 years, I remember just thinking, I've been doing this routine, trying to pull the word in and pray to God and communicate with Him, and yet I'm not getting anywhere. And I've got situations in my life that don't fit into the biblical model. Where was he?
Yeah.
So.
And you're left with, does God let these things happen and do nothing?
Yeah.
Or is it something that He was willing to happen?
Uh-huh.
And that's an unacceptable.
Thank you.
That's an unacceptable thing to believe.
Yeah.
It's a problem. It's a real problem. Mm-hmm. And it ceases to be a problem when you understand that there is no external force that's going to come in and save you. You have to take responsibility mm-hmm. within your own life, mm-hmm. and the things that happen not necessarily for some mm-hmm. cosmic purpose or reason. And if there are evil things happening, we must do what we can here and now mm-hmm. to prevent them.
Mm-hmm. And the needs that we have around us, there's no formula for it. You have to trust what's in your heart and the relationships you have, and be willing to work on those to solve problems. Referring to a text, trying to search for answers, it's a big waste of time. Because the answers aren't in there, life changes too. It's not like you can freeze frame and say, this is the way I want my life. I want my life. I want my life. This is the way I want my life. Every single morning, and think it's just going to happen that way.
Yeah.
You have to be adaptable. You have to change with it. You have to take in new information. And I found going to the Bible wasn't giving me the information I needed to solve the problems I had in life, and that was one of the reasons I left, is I needed more than what the Bible could provide. I remember just one day, just after a quiet time, this was my last moment, was just sliding the Bible away and thinking I was still talking to God, and just saying, I'm sorry, this isn't good enough. I know this is supposed to be a great book, but it's not good enough for my life, and I need to move on.